For years, members of the Nevada County Sheriff's Office Special Investigation Unit and the California Department of Fish and Wildlife and other agencies have worked together to address and eradicate illegal cannabis operations in Nevada County. These separate agencies have merged resources and personnel to form a joint operation for illegal cannabis enforcement. And since May, the joint agency has served up to 30 search warrants and at sites throughout the county. The operation led to the eradication of more than 12,000 illegal cannabis plants and the destruction of more than 1,300 pounds of processed cannabis. Also confiscated were hazardous insecticides banned in the U.S. and known to be highly toxic, and 2 pistols and hardware for building additional firearms. 6 people were cited and 3 were arrested and booked into the Wayne Brown Correctional Facility. Sheriff Shannon Moon has been serving as Nevada County Sheriff since her election in 2018. A longtime resident of Nevada County, she has worked for the Nevada County Sheriff's Office since 1990. Welcome. That's a lot of years helping Nevada County.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
So for this story, among many other stories on the street, this has been a yearly thing that you have done with a number of other agencies. Is that correct?
That
How
is
many
correct.
years has this operation been going on?
We switched over from doing the regulation of our cannabis through the board resolution of allowing cannabis cultivation in Nevada County right during that 2019-2020 timeframe.
So it's been quite a while,
So it's
5 or
been
6
quite-
years. Okay. And in addition to the California Fish and Wildlife Department, I also see from one of the press releases earlier in the summer that the Nevada County District Attorney's Office, County Code Compliance, California Regional Water Quality Control Board, Tax Franchise Board, Trident Task Force, National Guard, Department of Tax and Fee Administration, and PCSO-EOD. I don't know what that acronym stands for.
Explosive Ordnance Detail. So sometimes we
see.
do find some items that are suspicious that we want to make sure they're safe before any of those staff members come into contact with
Got
them.
it.
So it's nice to have the experts with us on those calls.
That's a lot of people to coordinate.
It's a logistics, I'm not going to say a nightmare because our staff do a pretty darn good job on ensuring that the team gets together and they're safe. I think that's the biggest reason for the task force platform is the more people. Clearly limited resources in small counties. I don't have enough staff to be able to provide all of that expertise. The law enforcement piece is definitely our expertise, and making sure that our all of those staff members are safe. Because a lot of the folks on those teams are not law enforcement;
Right.
they're scientists.
Right.
They're ensuring that what we see in the illegal cannabis grows that we're seeing, that they are abiding by all of the regulations for fish and wildlife.
Without revealing, trade secrets, how does the surveillance work? Like, how do you determine? And I'm sure this is months before the actual beginning of this program. How do you do the surveillance and kind of zero in on where you want to serve warrants or at least explore?
Yeah, a lot of that is through the air surveillance, through helicopter. It's fairly easy to locate and identify cannabis on a canopy while you're flying. And then the conversation, of course, would then go with the regulation side of the county, the code compliance, to see if it is a legitimate permitted cannabis cultivation site. It's pretty easy for them to look on their database to see
Yes.
what's permitted and what is not. And then we also really focus on the larger farms, the larger illicit grows, and anything that's close to waterways, because that is going to be a telltale sign that there's probably some illegal activity as it portrays to the taking of the water right out of
Irrigation for the plants.
Correct.
What kind of, maybe this is a silly question, but what confounds me a little bit is that if this is a 5 or 6 year operation and the growers in the county know this happens every year and they know they're going to be surveyed from the air, what's in it? I mean, they must think that they have a good enough chance to get away with it to evade being busted.
Yeah. it's there. There's more out there than we have the staff and the logistics of the task force platform to be able to accomplish. Through interviews, we've heard, sometimes people will roll the dice and say, even if I get caught, the profit that I might be able to get outside of being arrested is worth their committing the crimes. It's still, as much as the cost of cannabis maybe locally has gone down, in other states it has not. So there still is a big need for cannabis outside of California, and that's where the profit comes from.
Got it. So is this year a particularly standout year as far as actual busts and search warrants as compared to other years?
We're actually on par for the same statistics. Similar statistics as last year. Mm-hmm. Each one of those cases takes a tremendous amount of work.
I'm sure.
Again, not just with the logistics of going to the locations. We rely heavily on the reporting of the fish and wildlife scientists that gets sent to our local district attorney, and a lot of that is we're waiting on the state agencies. It's nothing in our control. So we're definitely. Sometimes I say, well, if I put more resources from my end, what I can control, will that increase the number of arrests or the activity? But unfortunately, when we rely on other partners, sometimes they may not be able to just get to that many more, just because, again, we're reliant on a lot of other folks.
And we're one county. I'm sure they're serving the California agencies anyway, or serving a number of counties, correct?
Yeah, historically, this is a very high grow county just because of our environment and our, the grow season here is always has been profitable for not just cannabis, clearly. We have the right weather, we have the right temperatures. So they definitely like working with us because of what we see. And again, we look at the ones that are the larger grows, the ones that are making the biggest impacts, and the ones that are closer to the waterways.
Once you do identify a grow that you need to go in and serve a warrant and so on, what's the process? Do you have another team come in and tear up plants, and then where do the plants go? I mean, what's the after process?
Yeah, so once it's identified, then we look at writing the search warrants and get them approved through the DA's office and through our local criminal court bench. That having that warrant is what gives us the right and the access to the property. And then it's the logistics of getting the team together, to going out and putting that team together on the site. Once we're on site and the staff on site believe that it's a absolutely illegal site, and they make the decision to eradicate, they do it right then and there.
Oh, that's interesting.
They do it right then and there with that team. So some of them take hours. We started in the spring. When a lot of the grows weren't very big, right? But they're still illegal, and they're still the plant counts are still the plant counts. Now that through the summer, some of these ones, the plants are getting a little bit, clearly bigger, and we're just now coming into harvest. Right. This is the harvest time.
This is when we start to smell things.
This is when
driving down the street.
Folks that are growing, whether it's illicit or regulated, this is the time. If it's an outdoor grow, now indoor grows are a little bit different because it's all year long, and a lot of those complaints and cases that we've been able to identify and eradicate on indoor have been because of a tip, a neighbor, someone that might have been inside the house that wants to report it. We will always take that information and, again, do the same levels of investigation. We determine whether we believe it to be illegal or a permitted grow, and then move forward with that.
Right, very interesting. Well, thank you for your service. Will the program continue through the harvest season? Through
the harvest season. Again, the detectives that are working on those cases, they've been doing it for several years now, so they're very good at determining what is legal and what is not legal. But they've also built the relationships with that team, and we really appreciate the collaboration that we see across the state with not only the Department of Fish and Wildlife, but the Water Board, definitely the California Cannabis teams that come out and help. I try to say whatever sheriff's office needs help in my neighbors, of my peers, I'll say we'll send staff if we can, and then they'll also send staff if they can. So it is definitely an all hands on deck, recognizing that it's not just about cannabis, right? It's about the impacts of what that is bringing to our community. Environmental, not only to our environment, our literal environment, but also just the fact that we have been seeing pesticides. We have been seeing things that are assisting them with a larger grow, which is not good to consume.
No.
So we want to make sure that environmental piece on the consumer is that's why we want people going into the legal system. That's why the legal system was started and flourishes in lots of different communities. But there still is the large amounts of cash. And when there's large amounts of cash, whether it's on site or it's just the profit, people will protect it.
Yes.
Right? So we're seeing the firearms at these locations because they're protecting their assets and the hard work that they put into them. Anytime we see that, that's a threat to our community. So wanting to make sure that we continue with this program and ensuring that that our community and the environment that we all love, and the reason why a lot of us choose to live in Nevada County, is at the highest quality that we can do.
Awesome. Sounds like an amazing operation. Congratulations on this year so far.
So far, they've got lots of work. I know they flew last week. They've got lots of different locations and addresses in the hopper, is what they told me when I was
watch out.
leaving the office. And I say there is a legal path.
Yes.
Take the legal path.
Take the legal path. How does one find out about the legal path?
Yeah, the Cannabis Alliance in Nevada County is a great asset.
We'll talking to a representative a little later.
Great asset. The code compliance officers of Nevada County, when they're out doing their inspections, anybody that has any questions, the county website has plethora amount of information on what it takes to be in the legal market. That's we try to put as much information out there so that we don't get into the position where we have to enforce and take someone to jail. But again, it's against the law. And if you're doing something against the law, we're going to bring the full force of the law.
It sounds like a movie, or like a TV show. Like we gotta start a Nevada County, cannabis.
Well, the history of cannabis in Nevada County is we've had cannabis here for decades, right? For decades and decades. 1990 was a long time ago, and when I worked narcotics, all of it was illegal.
Yeah.
So we've had to adapt. We've had to shift with the will of the people, the voting on where we are today with cannabis, and that's what we're doing.
Right.
We're continuing to make sure that the illegal side of the cannabis industry has our attention.
Yes.
And we will, based on the resources that we have, continue with making sure that we create a safer Nevada County.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of the season the outdoor grows, and we'd love to have you back and monitor how this is going.
That sounds great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming down.